Right.
Welcome back to Africa Overland. And over here we have Mike, who is a legend to start with. And he's brought along his baby.
Yes.
Tell us about it, Mike.
Wow.
What is this over here?
Guys, this over here is probably like one of the greatest loves of my life.
Even more than your wife?
My wife has a problem with this car. If there was a fire in our house, she says, which would you get first? Would you rescue me or your Land Cruiser? And that's going to be a tough call.
Yeah, no, I can see
Right.
by the way it's gleaming in the shade over here. I mean, this paint work is incredible. Tell us, why have you gone for this particular color of Land Cruiser? Why did you
Look,
choose this?
this particular Land Cruiser is a 60th celebration model, and it came out with the special colors, and so this is like an anthracite gray metallic color, and it's got a special 60th celebration branding all over the place. It's got leather seats and a whole bunch of little things. This car is a reaction to the Land Rover Defender that we had before this. So we
Yes.
I mean, like at one stage, everybody thought like, cool, I'm gonna die a Land Rover man, and at some level, it's still a big part of me. I still look at Land Rover Defenders on a daily basis. You know, it was such a radical vehicle that was so slab-sided. You could just bolt on anything you wanted. And
What
this
made
car,
you switch?
well, you know, after owning my Land Rover Defender for 10 years, I just couldn't deal with the unreliability. It was like just one nail in the coffin too far.
Yeah, I do seem to remember a certain trip we did together where the center diff, or I forget which diff locker, just wouldn't even engage.
No. And it was just like a perpetual issue of minor little niggles. The most amazing thing about Land Rovers is that I enjoyed doing a heavy, hardcore 4x4ing, and that's what it gave us that opportunity without, you know, modifying it too much. And I still look at it and I think like, wow, you know, if I was going to go down a rock riverbed, I would still want to do it in my Defender.
So how long have you had your Cruiser, Mike?
So this is a 2012 Land Cruiser. I bought it in 2014 with 20,000 Ks on the clock. Okay. So we've had it all this time, and we've got it up now to 150,000 Ks. We mostly use our city runabout.
Okay.
This has got a mean-sized engine underneath here.
What
we'll
is it?
open it up now. It's a 4.2 straight 6 1HZ diesel engine. This thing is a beast. It
Naturally
can-
aspirated, right?
Naturally aspirated. It can do the awesome speed of 40 all day long in second gear, low range.
It is such a joy driving with Mike. You get the best fuel economy ever.
Obviously.
You just, yeah, your average speed is just fuel economy happiness. It's just great.
So although when you're doing awesome fuel economy, I'm doing like 13.5 liters per 100 k's.
Not bad for a vehicle
Yeah.
of its size.
Yeah.
I mean, what does it weigh, right? What does it weigh?
So as standard, it's about 2.25 tons. And you know, I think when we off-road, it's at least 2.5.
It's actually not as heavy as you'd expect it to be.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. So this is the awesome 1HZ engine. Very simple engine layout, straight 6 down the middle, steering box down here, air and over here. This is the standard car battery. That over there is the second battery.
Cool.
Very simple
Lots
engine.
of space to get in there, I see.
Very easy to service. The cool thing about this car is that I actually haven't done too much to it at all in terms of servicing. It's absolute pleasure to own this thing.
In terms of mods?
In terms of mods, we'll go through those now. But
In terms
In terms of maintenance.
in the engine?
in terms of maintenance, there's like hardly anything you have to do to this thing. I have found the weak point. The weak points are the hubs, which are inside over here. They are a non-serviceable, so they're non-greasable and there is a spring wound up inside there, and if you're going to do a lot of wading, they do break. So that is a minor little thing that you have to live with.
Okay.
While we're there, tell us about your tires.
So these over here, I'm a BF Goodrich convert. I've had them on 2 previous vehicles.
Yeah.
And again, on this car, I've continued with it. So these cars come out with some, I can't remember, it was something called the Grand Trek, which is absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
And I immediately put on BF Goodrich mud terrain tires.
Yeah.
And I had those for about 5 years, and now I'm on these BF Goodrich all-terrain.
Is this a 16 or 15-inch rim?
16-inch rim. So this is a 265 by 75. Really, really awesome tire. I find the grip on this is insane.
Fantastic.
It does everything really, really cool.
And your mileage out of the tread?
Look, at the moment, I've probably only got about 40,000 Ks on this, and they still look pretty new.
Okay.
On the front end over here, we've got the ARB bull bar, and underneath over here, we've got this bash plate over here, which is branded with the Landcruiser, and this is actually very vital because there's another weak point once you start modifying your Landcruiser, is that right below here is the bottom of your radiator, and you need to protect that from stumps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it comes through and it protects your arm for your suspension as well.
So, what make of bash plate is this?
So this bash plate over here is from Deutschland, and they are in Stellenbosch. Very cool dude to deal with. So I've got the bash plate from him, and I've also got the rear bumper from him. So the whole purpose of getting this over here is that you've got high lift jacking points on it. So it's now kind of back to the point where what you would have with the Land Rover Defender.
Mike, let's get to the top of the car now.
Cool.
So what is up here now? Tell us about what kit you got up here.
I'm a simple dude. Once I find something that really works, I go with it. Okay, so we have got literally everything here is from Hannibal. Hannibal roof rack, Hannibal side awning, Hannibal tent over there. That's the 1.2 tent.
Okay.
I've had that tent on the Land Rover, and now we've had it on this.
It was a family tent, I seem to remember.
Family tent. We've squeezed our son in there since he was a kid. Obviously, now that he's 17, doesn't fit anymore.
No, I got it. I see you got some space in front of the tent as well. So do you pack stuff on your rack?
This is an essential part for this car. It's got enough space there that I can fit on another 4 jerry cans. And my car often has to deal with all the briarwood. So it's got briarwood. Yeah. And it normally has another container up on top there for taking the junk as well.
Okay.
And then there's also a space there for the 29 megahertz radio aerial.
Right.
And around this side over here, we have the high lift jack. So this over here has got the Hannibal mount system over here with the big wing nuts. And this is a fantastic system that's kind of been set up. Really simple, easy.
Yeah.
Does rattle a little bit.
And wind noise? Not much.
No wind noise. So on this particular roof rack, if you're looking for a serious, hardcore expedition roof rack, this is the roof rack to go for. The legs over here are all welded together with the spreader bar.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely incredible. Detailing.
Yeah, so you've been really happy with it so far.
And yeah, the entire roof rack is all welded together instead of being bolted together.
Sure.
So it's not one of those kinds of things that will rattle apart on a dirt road.
Okay.
You can see over here we've got the 60th edition branding. It came out with like this whole Africa.
Oh damn, you're so proud.
It's a little bit.
It's a little bit.
And on the interior over here, you'll see that unlike most of the other 76 Land Cruisers, it gets leather seats, which are pretty cool. And this car is almost 10 years old, so it served me well pretty far so far.
That's the tip of the iceberg, Mike. You're going to go a while longer.
Yeah.
And what else? Tell us what else have you got in the front there? I see there's a CB.
Cool. So pretty much the only things on the inside is my 29 megahertz radio, which is normally in the middle of us over here. Normally up on the windscreen, I've got the track, so that's one of the things that I normally take care of on the trips. Is I normally plan the routes and everything. So I've normally got a Garmin on the windscreen, and we've also got the GPS, which comes standard with the car. The really interesting thing is that the Tracks for Africa on the Garmin module normally has the most obscure routes on it, and I don't know where Toyota got their map set from, but it's normally had every single minor little trail we've ever done is on that thing. So it's I've been pretty impressed with that thing so far. Because I'm often in the front of the convoy, I often get to hold the dudes out. So underneath this seat over here is the towing gear. So this recovery gear is there literally permanently. Because I'm the first dude, I've often got to hack away some odd stuff. So that is pretty.
What's that called, Mike?
there.
Come on.
This is my machete. Woohoo! And then underneath here, thank goodness we don't have to use this very often, but this is my jumper cable.
So Mike, just tell us a bit more about your awning. This thing looks seriously robust. It looks very beefy, and tell us why you opted for this and how it suits you.
Yeah, so after going and researching all the different kinds of awnings that are out there, from the back wings, 270s and everything, what really appealed to me was just having a straight awning that just comes out to the side. And equally, I really was impressed by this particular one from Hannibal because it has no legs.
Right.
So literally the arm over here is a mini truss, and it literally comes out to the side, and this particular awning stands 2.5 meters out to the side, so it gives you a very healthy space to the side.
Sure.
And the other really, really cool feature about this particular one is that it has side walls to it, so it can become a room on the side of the vehicle where you can have
Very nice feature.
stretchers or something like that. And so far I've been very impressed. The only thing that does peeve me off a little bit is the dust cover. It's quite rudimentary. But, up in the little pinnacle end over here gets dusty on the road and whatever. The tent from Hannibal up over here is the 1.2 by 2.4 meter tent. For me, the way that I always do is I always fold it out to the back, so at least it gives me some kind of wind or rain protection over the back door.
Sure.
And that kind of has always worked for us.
Yeah.
And that with this basically gives you that 270.
Yeah. Notice I have put on all these, you might not pick it up on in the light, but these are called Kalahari Snake.
They're your racing stripes.
They're my racing stripes. So this is like one of those things of driving through the bush.
Sure.
Often being the first car, you get to do all that kind of stuff.
It's a bit tricky to get it out of this metallic paintwork, right?
Yeah. And this is what it's made.
Mike, I see you on the arse end of your vehicle here, and I see some serious stuff happening down here. What's this all about?
Cool. So one of the things that you do have to do to these 76 Cruisers just to get it up to spec is you need to do a replacement bumper at some stage. And this particular one is from Dorsland in Stellenbosch. Been really impressed with this one so far. You can get two arms, swing weight arms to it. So this particular one has the one for the spare wheel over here, at least you get your spare wheel off the door over here, because this can often give you premature wear on your hinges and things like that, and it does cause like little squeaks and rattles.
Right.
This has high lift jack points, a removable tow bar over here. It's got recovery points all standard on it.
Very nice.
It's like really
very
cool.
nicely done. Hey, a nice step too. Hey, so you can just
Very
walk
cool.
across the width of it without. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the plastic bumpers you stand on and they kind of give as you stand on them.
So this is really cool. So at least I can like walk along here, get to the tent and everything. This over here is a front runner ladder. Unfortunately, Front Runner are literally the only company who actually make the ladder for the 76s. And then in the back over here, literally, I haven't done too much in the back here. I had this special shelf made up by one of my steel guys, and what's really cool about it is that it's all bolted together and it's held in place, and it was the kind of thing that I could easily mount in here and take out if I needed to. I do have a slide over here.
This workstation.
This is my workstation. This is normally where my 60-liter fridge would be. We need that. On the side, every man needs a 1.8 meter axe. There's just sometimes
Tell you
you
what,
need to.
there are moments.
1.8.
There are moments.
So,
That
1.2.
that wattle. Hey?
but if you see some random dude running at you with a axe,
No, black wattle will.
You know
not
his
get
name's
anywhere.
Mike.
you're gonna know his name is Mike. I prefer to work with crates.
Why is that?
So literally up on the top here, there are 4 crates that can fit in up at the top over here. They all get lashed together. Pillows, sleeping bags down the sides. I've got another 4 crates down at the bottom here, and I normally have jerry cans at the back for extra fuel, extra water.
Sure.
So it pretty much all fits together.
No. It's a really square load area, so you can really get a lot of volume in here.
And then what we have done as well is we've fitted airbags in the rear suspension. Alright, cool. So just above the leaf springs over here, we have got airbag helper suspension. I pumped them up to about 0.75 for around town.
Yeah.
When I'm out in the bush, we pump those up to about 1 bar.
Okay. All right.
And they've
where
been
do you get them
tested
from? Do you have them like?
So what's really cool is we've got the little inflation points over here. So they are just down here.
Okay.
And this you can pump up with a bicycle pump.
Amazing.
Literally.
Okay. I have a bicycle shock pump, which is very accurate. It's a nice accurate gauge on it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I've put into this car.
Cool.
And on the back over here, on my spare wheel, we've just got the spare wheel cover. I've got this bag over here, which is normally for the briar grid and stuff like that.
Sure.
And this over here is my spade.
It's not an antenna, then, is it?
It's this car is permanently horny. So one of the things that I learned from helping people and just like taking people into the sand dunes and things like that, I think it was Tim's wife actually.
Hey.
I needed a spade. I was trying to show her how we go over crest of dune and whatever, and we got stuck for probably about half an hour. It was pretty awesome. I've never seen somebody try to get out of a 4x4 so
I remember.
through a closed window. But in any case, after digging for a long time, this really helps. So long handle, and you can really get in deep underneath.
Yeah, you can get in there.
Yeah.
Very
then
nice.
equally, if you see some dude walking off from campsite with this, you know exactly where he's going.
Yeah, with a new roll around the top.
Exactly. Cool. There we go.
Well, Mike, that was really interesting. Thank you very much for your tour. I say it's a beautiful vehicle. When we see you coming, we know we're always in good hands. The reliability of this vehicle has certainly stood the test of time. And yeah, strongly recommend this vehicle to anybody who thinks seriously about going into the bush.
Yeah, and I must tell you, it's the kind of vehicle that I would gladly own a second or a third one. You know, it's one of those kinds of things that you drool over when you like get the Gumtree adverts on Fridays. Really cool. Finding a good deal. Cool. So thanks for joining us with Africa Overland today. And next time, stay tuned because we are going to be looking at Simon's vehicle.
Certainly will.
So he's got a Fortuner. So look out for that video. That's going to be pretty radical.
Cool.